Hi everyone, I'm Bijan. Welcome back if you're new here. Hi, nice to meet you. Let's get into the rambling. I'm gonna go over 10 things I thought were normal until I found out they were a part of my autism and ADHD. The first thing is over-explaining. I will over-explain something probably 10 times if I need to make sure that I feel like I'm being understood. I feel like I get into this cycle where if I start to feel like I'm not being understood, I'll go even harder in explaining. And then the person is misunderstanding me even more, unfortunately. So I do my best to make sure my point comes across as clear as possible in the best way that I know how to, and pray that the person can understand what I'm saying and understand where I'm coming from. Number 2 is rehearsing conversations before I have to make a phone call or have an important talk with somebody or ask a question that I might be nervous about. I will go through it in my head 10,000 times to figure out, okay, what might they ask me? What do I need to make sure that I'm saying? What can I do to make sure that they're comfortable? What can I do to make sure that I'm being heard correctly? I basically will just repeat and rehearse the conversation in my head until I finally just take the plunge and go for it though. Number 3, I feel very exhausted after social situations. I could have a blast and I still will feel as if I need to recharge my battery completely. I much prefer to hang out with people with my partner so that there's balance and it's not one-on-one. I do a lot better when she is there to help me kind of pick up slack when I feel like I'm getting stuck, or maybe I just need a 5-minute break to tap out for a second and or keep the conversation going. She's really good at picking up the slack. And same with me, when she's getting tired, I can do the same for her, which is really nice with us. Number 4 is questioning if I said the wrong thing. A lot of times in conversations, I'll replay something I said or that they said to me. Did I respond okay? Did I respond in the proper way that is socially accepted? Did I ask enough questions about them? Did I overshare? Did I don't know, make a fool out of myself, basically. I will replay those conversations in my head for days and days and days. And sometimes they come back and haunt me when I don't want them to, weeks later when I think I've forgotten about it. And my brain is like, hey, remember that one time you said that one thing? I wonder how they actually felt about that. Yeah, that's what that's like for me. Number 5 is interrupting accidentally. It's not something I want to do on purpose. It's something that I am actively working on. But when I get really excited or I feel like I have something really important to say, I do tend to interrupt people and I get really embarrassed about it. And that's another thing where I will ruminate on the fact that I did something wrong in a conversation, and I'll come back to it and be like, you need to stop interrupting people. You have to work on this and get better at it. It is something that causes me a lot of stress though, and I actively am trying to work on it. I'm in therapy and I'm trying to create rules where I wait 5 seconds before speaking or asking a question, or I wait until I know that the person for sure is done speaking, and then I will ask my question or say what I need to say. Number 6 is being overwhelmed by a simple task. It could be sending an email or making a phone call for myself for a doctor's appointment. But if it's something for me, then I will procrastinate until I absolutely can't handle the anxiety anymore. And usually the task takes me about 5 minutes, which is really frustrating because after I finally do the task, I'm like, wow, all of this weight is off my shoulders. Why didn't I do this sooner? Let me make sure next time I do it sooner. I never do it sooner. I'm always too afraid, and then I procrastinate it even more. And it's one of my biggest icks about myself and frustrating things about myself, but I am working on it. Number 7 is having routines but struggling to maintain them. My autistic side craves routine, but my ADHD side will fight it a lot of times. So if I'm trying to wake up at a certain time every day, my autistic side really wants it, but my ADHD side is like, let's just test the waters a little bit. What's another 30 minutes of sleep? That's just an example, but I try really, really, really hard to have routines in place and follow them as much as I can, unless my ADHD side is being like, nope, we're not gonna do that today, which unfortunately sometimes happens. Number 8 is researching things excessively. If my partner or myself wants to know about something, I will spend hours researching it, asking all the questions in the world. And by the end of the day, I'm typically an expert in that subject, or I will spend so much time in it that I can tell you so many different facts about whatever the topic may be, or how to do the thing, or maybe that could be my next job because I literally taught myself so many things about it. But I do love researching. That is something that I actually really enjoy. It's something that de-stresses me. It's something that regulates me actually, and I really enjoy researching things, so I'm not even gonna complain about that one, but I didn't realize it wasn't normal to excessively research things when you wanna know about something. Number 9 is feeling emotions really intensely. It could be something really small, and yet my brain and my body will feel really big emotions. And on the autistic side of things, I feel things really deeply, but I won't show it. But then there's the ADHD side of things where I feel things and I do show it. So it creates this imbalance. And I keep a lot buried inside of me, and I try not to do that. I try to at least talk to my partner or my therapist. But I could see a sad commercial about a puppy or something, and that'll set me off, and I'll start crying for absolutely no reason. But it's not that moment, it's the buildup that got to that moment, because I feel things so intensely in my body and my soul, and I just sometimes don't know how to handle those things. So it can cause meltdowns, it can cause me to shut down, it can just cause a lot for me because I'm not the best at handling my feelings and emotions. And last is number 10, constantly worrying if I'm too much. I always thought that I was too much growing up, and I always thought that I was too much in general. And for some reason, when I found out I was autistic and I had ADHD, I thought maybe I was even more of a burden because there was more quote unquote wrong with me. And I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I've gotten to the point where I take the autism and ADHD and I'm like, this is something, they're words to find tools to better regulate me and live by. So it's something that I'm taking as a tool instead of a bad thing. But I will say at first there was a lot of shame, and I still constantly wonder if I'm too much, because I do have very strong emotions. I do have very strong reactions sometimes, and it's something that I'm working on, but we're all a work in progress. Anyways, thanks for listening to me ramble as usual, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone, have a good week.